Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe21Love, here for sports overview of topics this time around. Hope everyone's having a good week thus far. As we venture now towards closer to NFL regular season, we're almost there for baseball playoffs for the Major League MLB league. So things coming up, tides turning. Weather is, we're still in spring or summer, towards the end of summer, and school time is starting for some, and but while the tides are changing, we are still here to talk about sports and go over as much as possible. So with that out of the way, let's start with the preseason. Give some highlights for week 1 of the preseason. Now, of course, with preseason, you take it with a grain of salt, pretty much. But there are some performances, I'd say, that need highlighting, per se. Starting with Aidan O Connell. Gotta give credit to him. Credits to. And the Raiders 34-7 victory at home to close out week 1 of the preseason. He went, pull up his stats here, he went 15 of 18 with 141 yards and 1 touchdown. He looked good. I mean, certainly had himself. Of course, playing with not all the starters. I mean, no Jacoby Myers was there. No Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow. Didn't see. I think I saw Austin Hooper, but I didn't see Michael Mayer. But, take it with a grain of salt. At least from the eye test, you can see that he did well. So, that's a plus. And because with Jimmy G, you never know how good or how healthy he'll be for the season, but at least it's good that his presumed backup did well to start up. As for the other side, well, first gotta give some credit to Zamir White as well. I mean, with the Josh Jacobs situation, with the Raiders, Zamir White is presumably going to be the starter. So, he did alright. 13 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he didn't flash, but he did well. So, good for him. As far as the other side, Trey Lance started. He looked shaky. Now, excuse me, I'm not going to bash him like some others I've seen have, but I will say he did all right. I mean, look, At this point, you gotta kind of feel bad for Trey Lance simply because, this whole situation, you know, he barely played in college. He had one good he had one good season, and then Niners trade 3 picks to get him in the first round. He gets hurt. Then Jimmy G plays well. Jimmy G gets hurt again. And, Brock Purdy, he delivers. Now, they want to trade him. But, Trey Lance barely has any good tape on the table. So, I don't know. So, yeah. But he did okay. Obviously, that touchdown. In this case, stats will be deceiving, as shouldn't be a pick, but alas, Ross Swilly made a touchdown. So, but I will say he did all right. Sam Darnold played well. He had one good throw up the sideline. Time he was in, yeah, played solid. I think we can agree. The reason why Trey Lance is starting is because they want to get some good tape for other teams so that way they can make a decent offer, decent to solid offer, us a probably day 2 pick. I mean, you're not going to get a first round pick for Trey Lance. Probably a day 2 pick. If not, maybe a high day 3. But nonetheless, they're probably hoping someone trades, a 4 to a second for him. So that way they can start Brock Purdy and have Sam be the backup. But yeah, credits due to Aidan O Connell. The Saints and Chiefs game, I gotta admit, was pretty fun. I mean, we saw a fair amount of starters on the Saints side. Derek Carr looked good in there. 6 for 8, 70 yards and a touchdown on the first drive. Good for him. We saw Jamal Williams in there. Alvin Kamara was in there. I mean, good on them. Decently. James Winston, I was happy that he, after what went on last season, I was glad that he did well. And, he's obviously going to be the backup to Carr this season. But yeah, just happy after the news of what went on that he looked alright. Saints are, Chiefs, I gotta admit, had a fun comeback. It was 17-0, but they came back 24 unanswered, and then the Saints didn't want to go for the tie. They missed 2-pointer, and then I didn't see who made the pick, but credit to that big guy on the line. Basically won the game. And rookie kicker Blake Groupie, I believe that's his name, won it. So, great for him. It's all kind of crazy, that story of him being, the security and stopping him and all that. Funny. It's funny how a small world things can be. Not that long ago, Max Duggan and Stetson Bennett were facing off in the national championship for TCU and Georgia. Now, months later, they're facing each other in the NFL preseason for the Chargers and the Rams. Bennett got a lot of reps in and held his own for the most part, but the Chargers, you could tell, had a lot better on tape, or a lot better players. And it's going to be a growing process with the Rams, you can see, and getting back to that form after going all out, getting that Super Bowl, and now replenishing it, or trying to, with young players, and we'll see. But, Bennett went 17-29 with 191 yards and a touchdown. Easton Stick, guy out of North Dakota State, presumably will be Herbert's backup, went 14-21, 109 yards and a touchdown to Quentin Johnson. So, good for him. Elijah Dotson had a hell of a day as well. Had 6 carries for 92 yards and 2 tutties. So, solid for him. Eagles, Ravens. The guy that was highlighted the most out of this game was clearly Jalen Carter. See how he would do. And Carter looks smooth in his own right. Now, we'll see. I mean, Rick's got a pick 6. I mean, yeah, Eli Ricks, Jalen Carter, Keely Ringo, Nolan Smith. Those 4 guys are going to be very key in this. Feels like a new defense. You got Sean Desai, now the new defense coordinator. Gave up a number of guys on defense. So, curious to see how that will go. Jags, Cowboys, Trevor Lawrence, besides the pick, which was he was solid on his time in there, threw a touchdown to Christian Kirk. did what he needed to. Bixby has a solid day. Nathan Rourke. I mean, definitely had the play of the day. Looked like he was gonna get wrapped up like what 2-3 times, and he somehow as he was falling down managed to enough grit to throw a touchdown. I mean, geez. Cooper Rush did solid. Deuce Vaughn did alright. 8 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. You know, he may be Tony Pollard's backup, and obviously we'll have to see how healthy Tony Pollard is with his injury and coming back from that, but yeah. Jets, Panthers, shutout. Jets, great for Zach Wilson. Hopefully Bryce Young does better. Colts, Bills, learning process. I mean, a lot to say. Bears, Titans, Justin Fields, he had 2 touchdowns, which, yes, they go down as past touchdowns, but at the end of the day, the first touchdown was a wide receiver screen, big one, to DJ Moore. Second one, he did get out of trouble and tossed it downfield to Khalil Herbert, but Herbert and the offensive line really did that one. So credit to both sides, but still, first impressions are key, and Bears look in a rhythm so far in preseason. Cardinals made the comeback versus the Broncos. 1-point victory, 18-17. Russell Wilson did alright with 7 of 13 for 93 yards and a touchdown. Ben DiNucci had a fishing day. Clayton Tune, he had definitely the highest day of the Cardinals QBs. 13-23 for $1.35, touchdown and pick. But yeah, Cool's there, managing to win it late. It's a momentum getter. So anyway, let's look at a bit this week's preseason games. Some of the highlights. So, what can we expect? So, Browns, Eagles, tomorrow, starting off this week of preseason. Again, those defense guys for the Eagles, Marcus Mariota, probably getting more time for the Eagles, see how he does. For the Browns, Dorian Thompson Robinson, more of him. You know, see how he moves up the depth chart behind Deshaun Watson. Because he has been solid the first couple weeks of the season, or preseason. You know, yeah, we'll get to those guys. Panthers, Giants. Curious to see how Bryce Young rebounds after a bit of a shaky, and the whole Panthers offense. In their second preseason game, against Giants, although the Giants, well-depth team on defense, but, more practice, more continuity for the Panthers, we'll see. Giants, gotta keep, Jalen Hyatt, Tyler Taylor, and, curious about the young defensive stars or offensive stars, see how they mold. For the Giants, we'll see. Bengals, Falcons, Joe Burrow, I'm sure they would like to get him something before trying him out in the regular season, but at the same time, a calf is in a sensitive area, and you don't want to risk it for your franchise player. So, I imagine more Jake Browning, to be honest, and for Falcons, Bijan Robinson will play. I'm curious how in the regular season, we can already fantasy talk about it. Cordero Patterson, Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson. That's a hell of a three-headed... Excuse me. That's a hell of a three-headed horse in the backfield. But yeah. Curious how he finds his groove and his comfortability for the Falcons there. Jags, Lions, Tay Bridgewater announced the other day he'll be wearing 50. So I imagine we'll be seeing 50 on Saturday, see how he looks. So learning curve, I feel, with Jahmyr Gibbs, see how he does. Also, want to see more Jack Campbell for that defense, so we'll see. And maybe some more Jerry Jacobs, we'll see. Jaguars, Nathan Rourke, another drive of Trevor Lawrence, Calvin Ridley, I'm sure he's still rusty. So more reps, the better. 1 year is a year. So, yeah. Dolphins, Texans, from what that clip I saw of Laramie Tunsil facing his old team in practice, and that clip of him versus Bradley Chubb, dangerous. But, CJ Stroud, got obviously people obviously got very critical of his performance versus the Patriots. Curious to see how he does. His second go around. Dave Snells, you want to see good things out of him as well. And John Mechie, Tank Dell, those young receivers. Who's gonna step up as well? Bills, Steelers. Matt Barkley had a hell of a day last time. Curious to see if he starts this game or if we may get a Josh Allen drive. Who knows? Kenny Pickett and George Pickens looked like they didn't take any time off and drive last week. So see about this week. I want to see more Tanner Morgan. See if he does better this week. Mitchell Trubisky, I hope he does better, but at the same time, we're at that stage where you hope him to do better, but he doesn't that often, so we'll see. Bears, Colts, I mean, interesting matchup as far as the rookie QB or the run QBs. One rookie, one Justin Fields. I mean, curious to see more. Well, now that Anthony Richardson has officially won the starter job from Gardner Minshew, we'll see what they do from here. But yeah. Buccaneers, Jets. I mean, the O-line of the Jets and how good will Kyle Trask. I mean, Baker Mayfield did all right. Did good. And his opening drive for what he did and starting last week for the Bucs. Now, Trask's turn did not look as good as Baker. See how he kind of makes it even for himself. Titans, Vikings. Bit curious because I had hoped, either Levis or was going to fall to the Raiders or the Vikings. That was not the case. Now, his second go around will be against the Vikings in Minnesota in Skull Country. I mean, Malik Willis did show some good things. First, the Bears. Let's say that. But I'm hoping for, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Patriots, Packers, could we see Zeke Elliott for the Patriots Saturday? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, we'll see about this whole preseason week for as we get closer and closer for the NFL regular season. So, before we get to the rest, UFC 292. That's Saturday. And gonna be one unique card, to say the least. So, main event is obviously Aljamain Sterling for Sean O Malley. Sterling has hinted that win or lose, he'll likely move up to featherweight 145 after this fight. You know, we'll see. You know, it's weird. Sean was obviously has unique trial run of opponents, but now after being in a exciting fight versus Peter Yan, he takes on champ Sterling, and we'll see how it plays out. But alas, we got some good fights. You know, we got the Ultimate Fighter finales taking place on the prelims. We got Brad Katona versus Cody Gibson. Brad Katona, he was originally selected by Michael Chandler, but when the opportunity presented themselves to switch teams, he averted to McGregor's team because, you know, he trains with McGregor and Kavanaugh and their side, so it was only fair or fitting. And yes, he's in the finals, looking to become or win his second Ultimate Fighter tournament. We'll see. Austin Hubbard takes on Kurt Holobov in the lightweight finale. I tell you, Austin Hubbard and Jason Knight had a ferocious show. Ferocious on fight. And yeah, it was fun. So, see who wins. I mean, if I had to guess, I'm going to go with Katona and Hubbard based on what I've seen, but we'll see. We'll see. And the main event of the prelims, we got Chris Weidman back for his first fight in over 2 years. Jeez, over 2 years. And he takes on Millman, Brad Tavares' favorite, you know. It's just unbelievable how short a momentum wave can happen. And that was the printer, folks. But yeah, so UFC 292 looking to be a good card. Obviously, you know, prelims looking good, like I mentioned, and got some unique fights on the main card, and the main event should be pretty good. You know, and one other thing, while I can tell there's some criticism by both parties simply because, well, you know, Sterling, I mean, people still date back to how he won the title and, his defenses, against Cejudo and again the rematch with Peter Yan. I mean, you get the picture. And with O'Malley, he's a different prospect. Different prospect. Now, with his fight, regardless if you think he won or lost against Peter Yan, it was an impressive fight. And now he's fighting for his trap against Aljamain Sterling, who wins. If I have a hunch that maybe Sean O Malley's time. I just have this hunch. Sterling, he's talked about, moving up. And now it's one of his final fights, excuse me. Once you put in that doubt, of like, okay, you're near the end. I don't know. I feel like Sean's unique to prepare for, and I just feel he can get a finish on Sterling and take the belt home with him. So, to finish up on NFL preseason this weekend, highlighting some of the other games. So, I mentioned pretty much all the rest, but Chiefs Cardinals happened on Saturday. Curious to see, Clay Toon. So he fares, for the Cardinals. BJ Ojolari again. And Paris Johnson. Some of their draft picks, see how they get involved, possibly. And Rondell Moore, getting back into the rhythm, along with Holly Brown. For the Chiefs, see if someone else steps up at running back, I think, for them besides Pacheco, because we know Pacheco really showed out, and I know there's that one guy in the late rounds that they drafted is making noise, so we'll see. And Justin Ross, how does he fare for against Arizona? So there's that. Packers, Patriots. I talked about it a bit earlier, but Zeke getting signed. Will he play Saturday? May get a couple reps. We'll see. But yeah, he's there. For the Packers. Well, also Malik Cunningham and Bailey Zappi. Curious about them. For the Packers, quarterbacks obviously most involved. Jordan Love. He continues to look good. Sean Clifford. Also, I want to see Alex Magoo. Because, He was the MVP of the USFL for a reason this season. So, see how it does here. Broncos, Niners, I'd say that's fair game. Russell Wilson again, Jarrett Stidham. You know, I'm curious if they'll do the same thing for quarterback this game. If not, we'll see. Um, actually, Sports Illustrated, I think, posted something. So, it seems like from this article that what they did last time against the Raiders, they'll probably do again for Broncos, which, I mean, I get it because, like I said, they want to get as much good tape on Lance as possible. So that way you can lure in a buyer or a purchaser for a admirable price or admirable draft compensation, if not a player they can put in. Certainly help because 49ers their window is open. They can't afford too much to take time for Trey Lance to learn. I think that's the thing. Cowboys, Seahawks, more Deuce Vaughn. I think it's fair. Jake Ferguson as well for the Cowboys. See Seahawks, Drew Lock. Hopefully he does well again. Hopefully the running back stay healthy because Zach Charbonnet did fair versus the Vikings. Jarek Reed, obviously the UNM safety, or formerly of UNM. Curious to see how he does. But yeah. Saints, Chargers. Again, more repetition for Derek Carr, Jameis, Michael Thomas. I didn't see Chris Olave in that game for the Chiefs, so we'll see. For the Chargers, I wonder if they'll give more reps to Max Duggan. I mean, that game felt, they didn't have to do much, but yeah, I'm curious if Duggan can at least challenge Easton Stick and, his teammate Quentin Johnson. More power to him. Lastly, for Ravens Commanders, clear as day. How will Sam Howell do again? Because he fair share in first game, so see how does this go around. But yeah, preseason, that's pretty much for this weekend. So I mentioned Ezekiel Elliott signed with the Patriots. 1-year deal. So I think it was like under $7 million. Look, less. Look, What I will say is, as far as what he was in his early years, first couple years in the league, he has taken a step back. But on the other side, we know how Bill Belichick and the Patriots like having multiple running backs on the roster. And the fact is, although Zeke had less than 900 yards last season, he did manage 12 touchdowns. So, you know, splitting time with now who I think is a better all running back and Ramondre Stevenson, that's me, but or at least better rusher, I will say. Better running back and Ramondre Stevenson than Tony Pollard. You know, it's good because Zeke doesn't have to carry the load, because it felt like with Pollard he was more 1A as opposed to the clear number 2. With Ramondre, he'll feel more like the number 2. But yeah, we'll see how he does, how he factors in. Look, the Patriots and everybody else has their expectations, with the tough division, it's admirable. I mean, they didn't get DeAndre Hopkins. So people are prepared for them to finish last place, simply. 7-8 wins, I'm okay with that. But yeah, we'll see. And then, staying in the division, Dalvin Cook, the now former Vikings running back, is now headed to East Rutherford and signing with the Jets on a 1-year deal. I was having discussions about this the other day, and yes, these running backs are looking to reassess and reset the market for running backs. And, this stage, they want to be paid more. And, we'll venture this out again next year because, look, they're only 1-year deals, for Zeke, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley. I mean, nonetheless, he took probably less to sign with a contender, in which the Jets. It did feel like the Jets and the Dolphins were the main two teams having their eyes on Cook, and ultimately Cook has signed with Jets. Obviously a boatload of hype for the Jets this season. Pulling in Aaron Rodgers, now Devin Cook. I mean, you have those two solid tight ends with Uzama and Conklin. You have Garrett Wilson, the ring offensive rookie of the year. I mean, you have a stellar defense headed by Quinn Williams and Sauce Gardner. It's going to be a fun venture for Jets this season. That's certainly the same. I mean, but, and even still, there's rumors now of the Jets possibly trading for David Bakhtiari, who for a long time was Aaron Rodgers' left tackle mainstay in Green Bay. Now, with them being friends, longtime teammates since 2013, and the woes, concerns for the O-line being the weakest link for the Jets right now. Bakhtiari. Now, he did, after only playing one game last season, or 2 seasons prior, play 11 games last season, but his, from being Mr. Iron left tackle, is slowly slimming down. He had, I think his last 16-game season was in 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. Maybe it been 2020. Either way, it's take it with a grain of salt and cause for caution. We'll see, but good signs, I think, for both. Obviously, Bill Belichick kind of tried squeeze out or take out all compensation, try to get discounts for everybody as best he can. Free agents, unless he really goes and tries to pay for someone, like they did a couple seasons ago when they went to the playoffs. But we'll see how Jets and Dolphins, or Jets and Patriots, fare out. Matt Olsen has officially taken the lead for most home runs this season, or the home run lead. Now, he currently leads it with 43. Shohei Ohtani. Now, right behind him with 41. And creeping up behind Ohtani. Oh, excuse me. He had a home run today, so my bad. He's 42. Mr. 42. But right behind them is the polar bear, who hit his 36th home run today. So, scaling behind. We'll see how things fare. But yeah, we're getting closer to the regular season of the NFL, but those are mostly what's going on right now. Although before Yo, want to give my respects to Alex Collins, former NFL running back who unfortunately passed away at age 28. He was a he was a committee running back for the most part with Seattle, and then he had a very good season with the Ravens, I believe in 2017, and which he almost had 1,000 yards, but yeah, alas, you know, it's unfortunate. You know, stay safe, people on the road. Things happen, and it sucks. 28 is too damn young. And yeah, just unfortunate. Yeah, in 2017, he had 973 yards for 6 touchdowns or on the ground. One year, he had 7 touchdowns, but about half, well, less than half yards. He did spend 2 more seasons in Seattle before that was it. Yeah, unfortunate for Alex Collins. Thoughts are all his family. Rest in peace. And with others that have been affected by it. So yeah. Also, one more thing. This is not sports related, but want to give thoughts out to those affected by the Maui wildfires and Hawaii. I mean, yeah. Only been there once in Hawaii, and that was a real joy to be there. And it's a great place to vacation there. Enjoyed the water many years ago. And now, seeing what has happened to that, it's unfortunate. But yeah, hope these wildfires can just stop happening. But that is what I have for the podcast today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this little piece for sports overview topics. Of course, help with giving the like button a press and like, and also subscribe if you guys are new. If you guys want to check out all the videos on the channel and find out when I actually post them, find all that. But yeah, nonetheless, see you guys next time. I made Joe Turn Love. About to get out of here. Peace.